What up, everybody? It's Nino. I'm going to do a quick reaction video to Takeoff being murdered this morning at 2 a.m. in Houston, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Takeoff is a rapper, a one-third of the group, the Migos, very popular group. I was talking to my wife about it earlier. Basically, they're huge. These guys are big. My wife said that, this is going to be very impactful because a lot of people like the Migos. They're kind of a group that's, they make rap music. We all have our opinions about rap. I'm against rap and all that, but I ain't gonna lie. Every now and then I listen to rap, maybe the old me and me. I don't know what it is, y'all. But for the most part, the rap nowadays is horrible, terrible, drug pushing, promoting, filth, in my opinion. But I'm gonna be honest, the Migos is one of the biggest groups, and like my wife said, a lot of people like the Migos because they really don't have too much drama behind their name. They're pretty, everybody knows them, and they're just a very popular group. And like I told her, they're huge. They're, countrywide, across the United States and different countries. These guys are pretty well known. They come from Atlanta. I think whole point is this. These guys were in Houston, Texas at a well-known bowling alley. My wife looked it up. It's kind of an upscale bowling alley, and they can rent it out for parties, private events. I think it closed at 2, and I think he got killed at about 2:30 on a balcony. They were shooting dice. It was Quavo. That's another one-third of the Migos, and Takeoff. That's the one that was killed. What they're saying, when I first saw this in the morning, I saw it like about 7, 8 in the morning, right? I think TMZ first broke it. That's kind of another conspiratorial, route that people were saying, how come they always get the breaking news? I digress. So I wake up in the morning, I'm at work, and I see that he was pronounced dead. Throughout the day, I come home with my wife, and we were talking about it. She didn't even know, until I told her. She looked it up, and there's footage. He's on the ground. It's gory. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's horrible. In the day we live in, God forbid something happens to you, they're going to record it and upload it. It's just how it is. Even death, right? They don't even respect someone's passing. That's why I always tell my daughter, hey, quit trying to be tough. And it's not really good to try to fight people. Because to be honest, nowadays, they get the best of you and they put a whooping to you. They're going to put it on the internet. So be very careful of, starting fights or doing anything nowadays because it's going to be uploaded. That's just how it is, right? So what happened with this guy, there's a lot of reports that are coming in. A text message was leaked. I don't have it on here. To be honest, everybody's probably already doing videos about this. But the gist of it is basically this. They were shooting dice, or Quavo was, right? Quavo was actually the uncle of Takeoff. So Quavo's shooting dice, and I just saw the picture my wife showed me. They're like in a tight little circle. They're shooting dice after the bowling alley closed, I believe, and they're shooting dice in the tight, area from the picture, what I saw. And they're saying that Quavo was losing. He lost like 7,000. This is the numbers they're saying. These are all kind of, hearsay for the most part. People are making videos. He lost about 7K. They don't know how much more he had on him, right? And he started to argue. There was an argument, something happened, and shots were fired. Reports were saying earlier, or the text, should I say, right, was basically saying that Quavo got into it with somebody from Mob Ties. That's a group in Houston related to Jay Prince. He's a rap mogul in that area. His son, it was somebody's birthday. Mob Ties is the actual label group. I would say somewhat of a gang, but the Migos were with him. The two Migos, right? Because there's Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset. Offset was not here at all. But basically, they are with Mob Ties, this group, supposedly getting protection from them, right? They're in Houston. They should be looking out for them by, these terms of the street and rap industry. They're with these guys and supposedly being taken care of by Mob Ties. Quavo loses money in a dice game, gets into it with the wrong person, they say, on the text. That's what it's saying. And supposedly they're saying, they're not going to say no names. They're already with the no snitching. You know how that goes. And they're saying that somebody from Quavo's side shot first and accidentally hit Takeoff. Ain't that sad? Takeoff stood up. He was in the back, most quietest, most respectful guy in the room, they said, and got hit. I think a dome shot, headshot, or even in the throat. My wife said that she saw the video. He was bleeding out the throat. Very graphic and gory, excuse me, but that's just what she saw, and that's what they said. Headshot, killed him. He was pronounced dead at the scene, 28 years old. I think the 7th rapper killed this year. Being a rapper is very dangerous in America in times like this. So anyways, Quavo gets into it. Dice game goes wrong. He loses some money. Takeoff seems like just an innocent bystander at the wrong place at the wrong time and gets killed. Before I made this video, I said, well, what am I going to talk about? Because a lot of people are making videos. My wife said, well, just talk about your experience with gambling and, street dice and stuff like that. I come from Southside Midland, Texas. It's very popular where I'm at. In my day, we would shoot dice all night like zombies. Something about gambling and rolling for money, it does something to you. You can become addicted. At times I'll be losing and be telling my wife, bring me another 100, bring me another 100. Having my best friend loan me a couple hundred, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get that bad. It's pretty bad. I'm not too proud to admit that, I was shooting dice and losing a lot. Most of the time I would lose, to be honest. And you just get put in a bad situation. You're in a bad situation, just acting a fool. There's usually drugs and drinking, and profanity. In a dice game, that's what it consists of, people with a bunch of pride, a bunch of men, you know what I'm saying? It's a very arrogant, street sport, should I say. There's drugs, alcohol, you know what I'm saying? It's just a gambit of just wickedness and just, pride, money, you know what I'm saying? It's everything that recipe for disaster, should I say. So I've seen dice games turn many times. People get mad, they get depressed, they get shook. I mean, you go there and you lose money. That was your bill money. That was money for your family, for food. I've seen it all, y'all. I've seen people pawn weapons. There's all kinds of stuff that happens at a dice game. A lot of illegal activity, should I say. So again, my experience with dice is nothing good comes out of it, ladies and gentlemen. There's a train of thought here. This guy's a multi-millionaire. Supposedly, you know how it goes. Fake it till you make it. I don't know. But from what I've known and what these people showcase, diamonds, gold, whatever, platinum sales, record sales out the roof, this guy's a multi-millionaire for the most part. And there he is with Quavo, his uncle, I guess. And they're with a bunch of street people, I guess, that are rappers in the industry in Houston after the venue closes, shooting dice. And they're saying, a train of thought is, what is a multimillionaire doing shooting dice, playing these street games? And I agree to a certain extent, but at the same time, this is the culture. This is how those kind of people live. This is how my people, how we used to do it when we were in the street, heavy in the street ourselves. But I told my wife too, speaking on that point, it don't make no damn sense. Because the way I look at it, when you shoot dice, you're trying to come up, right? And whenever you're balling and you're the bank, why would you sit there and shoot dice with people if you already got the bag? To me, when you shoot dice, you're doing it to make money, to come up. You know what I'm saying? So it don't make no sense to be super rich and they're on your knees or whatever, rolling dice, trying to break somebody off. Then again, some people like to do it for sport. It's entertaining, I guess. I don't know. To me, it don't make no damn sense that a multimillionaire is there shooting craps. But like I said, this is how it operates, how the culture is. I don't know. People have vices. They're addicted. Whatever. It's a prideful street sport, and there it is. It don't make no sense to me. I saw another video where, shout out Dewberry, and I was waiting for Charleston White to make a video. I haven't seen that yet. But Dewberry's Charleston White's buddy, he had some guys on the live, and they just think it was a setup. It made a lot of sense. Like, these guys are shooting dice. They start talking about the dice being loaded, being, fake dice or whatever, trick dice, and that Quavo makes a remark, and then it pops off from there, right? I can see that happening. I don't know if that's what happened, but I just know that's a scenario they put out there. I don't know if they were hearing this would happen or what, but it kind of makes sense. And like they said, and I believe so too, who knows if he didn't have 10, 20, 30,000 on him and he lost 7 and there he is. Hey, something ain't right. Looking at the dice, roll them a couple times or whatever, and they hit a certain number. I've seen trick dice. They look like regular dice. I've seen them before. And to be honest, a street code is that you cheat on games like this. I think somebody made a comment, or I forgot where I saw it, but it can result up to death. That's the penalty sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of how it works. It's kind of like old card game out west, back in the day. You get caught cheating, and that could be off with your head. No pun intended here. So I don't know if that's what happened, but I know that they're saying that he lost up to $7K, realized something was going on. They got into an argument. Like my wife said, when you shoot dice, there's the other guy winning, laughing in your face, talking crap to you. Who knows, right? But like I said earlier, drugs, alcohol, pride, the flesh, whatever you want to call it, rises up in a scenario like that. Nothing good comes from a dice game, I believe. And for them to have an argument and fight, that's normal in this kind of scenario. So they're saying that Takeoff stood up, wasn't even really involved. He was one of the most quietest ones in the room, which I believe it because I've seen videos of this guy. You could tell he's not really like a street dude like that. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty street. These guys, I followed them since they came out with Gucci Man. He's another rapper from Atlanta. When they were making the Bando, I forgot what song it was. It was popular back in the day when they first came up, right? This was before I was a Christian and everything. I noticed them years ago. And these guys are, like I told my wife, these guys are some street dudes, you know? There are some rappers and entertainers, I believe, you know, are street dudes that are really with the business, right? And I believe these guys, you know, they're, for the most part, they're pretty, you know, legitimate as far as being from the street and representing that. You know what I'm saying? They're tied into it. And I remember this from back in the day till now, you know, they done blew up. They're multimillionaires. I mean, like I said, it still bewilders me as to why these multimillionaires are playing street games, right? Why are they, you know, associating with these kind of people? I made a post on Instagram. They shared me on a big page and said that, you know, Nino said that hang with whites. I don't want to say right here what I kind of said because I'll probably get in trouble on YouTube. But my whole point is this: hang with the right crowd. Okay? I've never seen certain groups of people act like this. And you can take it for how you want, but look on the Instagram, you'll see exactly what I said. I got to talk in between the lines here on YouTube, but I've never seen certain groups of people, even races, ethnicities, whatever, act like this in a dice game. I've only seen a certain. I'll digress there. So look it up on Instagram, you'll see my full statement. Basically, the point is this, though: choose your crowd wisely. It's very sad, y'all. Me and my wife, we feel bad for Takeoff because you look at the guy, he looks like a quiet, gentle kind of person. You know what I'm saying? You could just get that vibe from him. So me and my wife did kind of feel bad for him because, you know, it's a sad situation, especially if he didn't have nothing to do with this whole thing, right? This whole setup, whatever. Some people were even saying, speaking of that it was a setup. That's what Dewberry and them were saying on the video, that maybe it was a setup, right? And I told my wife, it makes sense. How many rappers do the same thing? They go into a city with the group that basically supposedly runs a city. These mob tie guys. I can't even really stand Jay Prince's son, Jay Prince Jr. That's just my honest opinion. Freaking dude's big headed. Whatever. His daddy got the money. Anyways, these mob tie guys supposedly run Houston, which they act like they're a mafia, which they. What do we see here, right? They are portraying this kind of lifestyle, mob ties, whatever. But my point is this: I told my wife it makes kind of sense that people come to a city, say Houston, for example, they go with this group of people that are going to supposedly take care of them, right? And somebody in that group, in that circle, already knows the game. It's a scheme. Get the rappers in here, break them off for 10, 15,000 on a dice game or any kind of whatever, illegal gambling or, you know, any kind of jug they call it, right? Any kind of play they run on them. So it makes sense, right? Flying the rappers to a city, any city, right? They connect with a certain group of people, and there's some wolves and roaches and haters in the mix, and there they are, you know, putting some fake dice or, you know, breaking off these rappers that come from out of town. To me, it's a simple, you know, easy way to make money off of somebody with money. So when I heard Dewberry and them say that it was probably a setup, it made sense, right? Like they said, who's going to be there at 2 a.m. with, you know, women and a party going on, and you got dice in your pocket? Like I said earlier, the person with the money, the bank, they really ain't walking around with dice trying to break somebody off. It's usually somebody trying to come up. So if it was a finesse, if it was a play made on them, whatever, I wouldn't doubt it. Either way, Takeoff was taken out. And I'm going to say something real quick. Speaking from a street perspective, I've caused situations in my life I'm not proud of. Drop of a dime, whatever you want to say, the whole night will turn ugly, and there's your whole crew going against a whole nother crew, you know what I'm saying, off of a mistake you made, should I say myself, right? And thank God nobody's ever been seriously hurt or whatever with decisions I made, and my crew, you know, backing my decision no matter what, right or wrong. But I'm going to tell you something. If Quavo, which they're already blaming him on the internet, there's reports coming out that you're going to be surprised on who really did it, right? Who shot the first shot, whatever. The point is, if Quavo did start this and his nephew, Takeoff, was killed due to Quavo's actions, this is going to haunt this guy forever. Again, I've been in situations, sticky situations, and thank God nobody really got seriously injured, but I would live in so much regret. I still live in regret from dumb actions I made when I was in the street. But if someone was killed due to me making a move or getting into it with somebody, you know what I'm saying? That would be something, a burden to bear. How horrible, right? So I kind of feel bad for Quavo too, because who would imagine him going somewhere and his buddy, his nephew, they're saying they're related somehow, that he would go get killed while Quavo and them are out on the town. So if that's the case, that it is Quavo's, I wouldn't say fault, but it's due to him getting into it with somebody over, measly couple $1,000. Who's a millionaire? What a guilt trip, right? I mean, how horrible would that be if that's the case? We don't know, but again, we got to blame the shooter. Somebody shot the firearm, and Takeoff was the victim of this. He got hit, and I said it earlier on the live that, hey, people die. That's the destiny sometimes. What can you do sometimes? You live a certain way and you end up getting taken out. You know what I'm saying? I would say there's not too much pity on my end for certain kind of people when they live a certain kind of life, especially streetwise or whatever, right? Especially these rappers that glorify this lifestyle. But Takeoff, like I said, after looking at his past videos, me and my wife talking about it, I feel bad for the guy. I think he was kind of a just genuine cool dude at the wrong place at the wrong time. But if Quavo, if something happened due to Quavo's actions, he's going to deal with it for the rest of his life. And the video shows him trying to lift him up, blood coming out. My wife saw it. It's horrible, right? I feel bad for that guy. But I'm going to tell you something also. We got to put the blame where it's due. Somebody shot the firearm. Somebody, let that round off that killed him. So, you can't really just sit there and blame Quavo for the shooter's actions, right? And if it was his own people, even worse. That's what they're saying, that it was Quavo's side that did it first. But then they're saying it was mob ties. I don't know. It's all mixed up right now. We'll see if anybody comes forward. Last point of the video. Street codes. No snitching. The police in Houston are making reports to the public that there's a lot of witnesses, a lot of footage. I guess it's not enough. And they have made a statement that they need somebody to come forward and pick the guy out. Let us know. They need some help identifying the shooter. Nobody has come forward. I told my wife, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody gets arrested for this due to the mindset of no snitching or what have you. Then again, maybe these mob tie guys, maybe they are tied in. Maybe they are pretty powerful in Houston. I don't know. And I'm not saying that they had nothing to do with it. These are just the rumors and reports that we're hearing. But to be honest, it makes a lot of sense. From the text message I saw leaked out saying that basically Quavo got into it with a mob ties guy, and somebody from Quavo's side, they said, shot first. Mob ties returned fire. They say that Takeoff fell when the first shots let off, and the first shots were from Quavo's, the Migos side. And to me, sounds like that's pretty plausible, right? Dice game gone wrong. Innocent bystander basically there at the wrong place, wrong time, and gets hit. So again, I just want to make this quick video, y'all. There's people that probably have better, breakdowns of this. The info's out there. This is just my take on it. How the illicit gambling world works. It's real seedy. I'm telling you, I've never really been too bad about the dice game, but I've seen some men act a certain way when they lose everything in their pockets. You know what I'm saying? It can get pretty rough. So having a dice game in a fatality or a beating or something very violent, it's just normal in that kind of situation, in that realm, right? So Takeoff, not even 30 years old, killed on Halloween night. Conspiracies are abounding, right? Sacrifice, all this. Either way, the dude is dead. TMZ broke it first, supposedly. That's a whole nother subject, because how come they're always the ones with the juice, right? But we'll see. Takeoff, 28, didn't even hit 30. Gunned down in Houston, Texas, at a very nice, pretty decent looking bowling alley. It don't make no sense to me. If I had that much money, to be honest, I would probably be a recluse. I probably would try to be as far away from the public eye as possible, especially if I was a celebrity, right? At least I say it now. But you would think when you have that much money, you would move a little bit differently. There's Instagram videos and posts and stories of Quavo and all them, posting their night, and they're just out there to have a good time. And who would have thought this would have happened to this rapper, Takeoff? So again, y'all, I just wanted to bring this story, do my take on it, and there it is. 28 years old and dead. Houston, Texas. What a way to go out, right? And with that, y'all, got to get out of here. Thank y'all for watching my reaction video. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'll keep you updated if we find out what happens as it goes. I pray and hope that, the person that did this is held accountable. And you just can't be shooting in a public area like that. I mean, that's crazy. I told my wife, to be honest, last word. What happened to old-fashioned knuckle up? Why are people so quick to pull out weapons or at least even firearms? I mean, why would you resort to a firearm? That's more to protect your life. But again, I wasn't in the situation. But my question is this: what happens to old-fashioned butt whoopings, right? One-on-one, hey, you walk off. Again, drugs, alcohol, bravado, pride, the lust of the flesh, y'all. That's what it does to a common man. With that, y'all got to go. God bless you. Thanks for watching. You're an American. You're a patriot. You got grit. Act like it. I'm out.